Hashtag the peerless Imperial concubine of time travel. Hashtag chapter 1 The bloody setting sun. Ah! A shrill scream broke the tranquility of the Imperial garden. Su Qingwan held her abdomen, bright red blood gurgling from between her fingers, dyeing her plain white dress red. She knelt on the ground, her pale face full of disbelief, and her clear eyes reflected Murong Han's indifferent face. Murong Han's hand still maintained its palm-stretching posture, and that hand just hit her abdomen mercilessly. Fomer saw this scene from a distance, exclaimed, and wanted to rush over, but was blocked by Murong Han's guards. Wanna? Murong Han's voice was as cold as iron. Do you think I will believe that the child in your belly is my child? You? Su Qingwan's lips trembled, and a sweet taste surged in her throat. She swallowed back the blood. Why are you doing this to me? Why? Murong Hanin laughed, and he turned around, no longer looking at the woman covered in blood on the ground. Because you betrayed me, and because you and Feng Linyuan, the prince of Zichin Kingdom, are not clear about each other. I saw you embracing each other in the suburbs. Do you think I don't know? That palm knocked away our child. Su Qingwan's voice was almost hoarse. Her tears mixed with the blood overflowing from the corner of her mouth, falling drop by drop on the blue stone. Those are your biological flesh and blood. Ha! Murong Han's sneer was filled with sarcasm. Su Qingwan, you really know how to act. Can you still quibble with what I have witnessed with my own eyes? I didn't betray you. Su Qingwan's vision began to blur, and she could feel the little life in her body passing away. The feeling of being stripped away made her miserable. Why would you rather trust others than trust me? She thought about the cold young man when she first met Murong Han and how she fell in love with him in modern times. That was her most beautiful memory, a love that spanned time and space, but it was torn to pieces in this world. She once thought that as long as she worked hard enough, she could make Murong Han fall in love with her again. But reality gave her the cruelest answer. Murong Han never truly believed her. Come here, take the queen back to Fenghuan Palace. She is not allowed to step out of the palace gate without my order. Murong Han's voice was so cold that there was no warmth at all. He didn't even look back at Su Qingwan before he walked away. Your Majesty. Fomer finally broke free from the restraints of the guards and rushed to Su Qingwan's side. Queen, how are you doing, Queen? Su Qingwan's lips were pale, and her vision was completely blurred. She felt someone pick her up. It must be Fomer. Her consciousness began to fade, and the last thing that came to her mind was Murong Han's cold and heartless eyes. Why? She murmured, her voice so weak that it was almost inaudible. Why don't you believe me? Hashtag chapter 2 Sisterly Love. Sister. Jilan's voice woke Su Qingwan from her slumber. She opened her eyes and found herself lying on the bed in Fenghuan Palace, her body as weak as an empty shell. For maids, Feng, Yuer, Shuer, and Shuer were all gathered around her bed, and everyone's eyes were filled with worry. Jilan. Su Qingwan struggled to stand up, and her hand unconsciously touched her lower abdomen. It was already empty, and she could no longer feel the existence of that little life. Sister, don't move. Jilan quickly supported her, with tears in her eyes. The Imperial doctor said that you are very weak now, and you need to take a good rest. The child. Su Qingwan's voice was hoarse. The child is really gone? There was silence in the room. Fomer bit her lip, tears falling silently. Yuer and Shuer also had red eyes, and Shuer even burst into tears. Queen, please take care of yourself. Fomer choked with sobs. Su Qingwan closed her eyes, tears sliding down her cheeks. She said nothing, just cried silently. Jilan held her hand tightly, wanting to give her some warmth. Sister, I will definitely stay by your side. Jilan said softly, no matter what happens, I will never leave you. Su Qingwan raised her head and looked at Jilan, the girl she had rescued from Zuyan Tower, with sincerity in her eyes. She nodded slightly, a bitter smile forming on her lips. Thank you, Jilan. But fate is always cruel. On the third day after Su Qingwan lost her child, bad news came again. Your Majesty is not good. Yuer ran into Fenghuan Palace in a panic. Miss Jilan, she threw herself into the lake and committed suicide. Su Qingwan stood up suddenly, and her eyes suddenly turned black. She staggered out of Fenghuan Palace, ignoring Fomer and others' obstruction, and rushed all the way to the lake in the Imperial garden. Jilan's body has been fished out. Her face is as pale as paper, and her eyes are still open, as if she is telling something. Su Qingwan fell down next to her, stretched out her hand tremblingly, and closed Jilan's eyes. Why? Su Qingwan's voice was completely out of control. What is this happening? Jilan, wake up. Don't scare my sister. But Jilan could no longer hear her call. It's Su Ruyan, Fomer said through gritted teeth. It must be concubine Shu. She has always been jealous of Miss Jilan being close to you, so she must have been the murderer. A flash of blood flashed in Su Qingwan's eyes. She stood up, her body swaying, but she still managed to stand firm. I'm going to find her. Her voice was as cold as ice. I'm going to go find Su Ruyan and ask her. Hashtag chapter 3 The truth comes out. Sister, wait for me. Jilan chased after Su Qingwan, but Su Qingwan couldn't listen to anything at this moment. She rushed all the way into Su Ruyan's palace and saw Su Ruyan drinking tea leisurely with a proud smile on her face. Su Ruyan! Su Qingwan's eyes were filled with fire. What did you do to Jilan? Su Ruyan slowly put down the teacup and looked at Su Qingwan with raised eyebrows. Sister, what are you talking about? My sister is here, my sister. How can I do anything to her? Stop pretending. Su Qingwan almost yelled. Jilan committed suicide by throwing herself into the lake. You must have forced her to do so. My sister has wronged me by saying this. Su Ruyan smiled, her smile full of pride. I didn't do anything. Maybe she couldn't think of it herself? After all, she was the one who betrayed you. Su Qingwan was stunned for a moment, not understanding the meaning of Su Ruyan's words. What? Don't you know? Su Ruyan's smile became even brighter. Jilan has been mine from the beginning. I, Lin Yuan, arranged for her to get close to you just to gain your trust. As for why she died. Su Ruyan paused. A cruel look flashed in her eyes. That's because she fell in love with you and couldn't bear to continue hurting you, so she chose to die. These words were like a bolt from the blue, shocking Su Qingwan's whole body. What did you say? She murmured, almost unable to believe her ears. You don't believe it, do you? Su Ruyan stood up, walked to the dressing table, and took out an envelope. There is a suicide note left by Jilan. Do you want to read it? Su Qingwan took the envelope tremblingly, unfolded the letter paper, and Jilan's handwriting came into view. Sister, when you read this letter, I am no longer here. I'm sorry, but I have appeared by your side as a betrayer from the beginning. It was Su Ruyan who sent me. She wanted to gain your trust through me and then push you into the abyss step by step. But sister, you're so good to me. You love me as your own sister. You give me warmth and hope. I can't keep hurting you. I have to die to end all this. I'm sorry, sister. I betrayed your trust. If there is an afterlife, I hope to be your sister in an honest way. Farewell, sister. Jilan's last words. Su Qingwan's hands were shaking so much that she could hardly hold the letter. Tears fell on the letter paper drop by drop, blurring the writing on it. Su Ruyan. She raised her head, her eyes full of hatred. Why did you do this? Jilan is just an innocent girl. Innocent. Su Ruyan laughed. She is not innocent. The person I have trained for so long was finally subdued by you. She deserves to die. You devil. Su Qingwan roared and rushed towards Su Ruyan, but was firmly held down by the guards on the side. Sister, calm down. Fengler and others finally caught up and tried their best to hold Su Qingwan. Let me go. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her, Su Qingwan roared almost hysterically. While she was struggling desperately, she suddenly discovered that there seemed to be another line of writing on the back of Jilan's suicide note. She looked closely and saw that the words were very small, as if Jilan had written them in a hurry. Sister, be careful of Su Ruyan's secret room. There is a mechanism underground. Su Qingwan was stunned. Secret room? Organ? What does this mean? She violently broke away from the guard's hand, rushed to Jilan's portrait, and tore off the portrait. Sure enough, there was a secret compartment hidden behind the portrait, and in the secret compartment was a hairpin that Jilan usually wore. Su Qingwan picked up the hairpin and looked at it carefully. There was a small mechanism at the bottom of the hairpin. She turned it gently, and the hairpin split into 2 halves, with a thin note hidden inside. There was a sentence written on the note. Sister, there is a secret passage under Su Ruyan's palace that leads directly to the rockery in the royal garden. She often meets with mysterious people there, and she seems to be planning something. I was afraid that she would attack you, so I secretly recorded it. I'm sorry. I can only tell you in this way. Su Qingwan's hands were shaking. It turned out that Jilan had been protecting her secretly, and even at the last moment of her life, she was trying to leave clues for her. Sister. Fomer held her arm worriedly. Let's go back first. Su Qingwan raised her head and looked at Su Ruyan. Su Ruyan still maintained that proud smile, but her eyes were beginning to look a little uneasy. Let's go back. Su Qingwan took a deep breath and put away the hairpin and letter paper. But Su Ruyan, I swear, I will seek justice for Jilan. #, Chapter 4 Jedi Counterattack. That night, Su Qingwan secretly sneaked into Su Ruyan's bedroom with Feng, Yuer, Shuer, and Shuer. Sure enough, behind the screen of the bedroom, they found a hidden entrance. Su Qingwan followed the secret passage all the way down, and at the end, she found a secret room. The secret room was filled with various weapons, poisons, and countless poisonous insects. These. Fomer took a breath of cold air. Are these Su Ruyan's? It seems Jilan is right. Su Qingwan's voice was as cold as ice. There is indeed something wrong with Su Ruyan. She continued to check the items in a secret room and suddenly found a letter hidden in a secret room. The content of the letter shocked her. Su Ruyan turned out to be the undercover agent of Lin Yuan from Huihen State in Qinglan Palace. Su Qingwan held the letter, a determined light flashing in her eyes. She finally knew what to do. Early the next morning, Su Qingwan came to the Imperial study and handed the letter to Morong Han. Morong Han's face turned pale after reading the letter. Where did you find it? In Su Ruyan's secret room. Su Qingwan replied calmly, If your Majesty doesn't believe it, you can go and see for yourself. Morong Han was silent for a moment and finally stood up. Come with me. When Su Ruyan saw Morong Han leading someone into her bedroom, the smile on her face finally solidified. Her eyes fell on Su Qingwan, her eyes full of resentment. Su Qingwan, you, actually? There's nothing more to say. Su Qingwan looked at her calmly. All your conspiracies are here. With a cold face, Morong waved his hand to the guards to take down Su Ruyan. Su Ruyan was held down and forced to kneel on the ground, her face full of unwillingness. Do you think it's over like this? Su Ruyan laughed. Even if you expose me, you won't get what you want. Your child is dead. Jilan is dead too. You have nothing left. Su Qingwan closed her eyes and tears fell. She knew that Su Ruyan was right. Even if her conspiracy was exposed, the dead people would not come back. Take him down. Morong Han's voice was cold. Imprison him in the sky prison and wait for his fate. The guards dragged Su Ruyan away, and the entire palace fell silent. Morong Han looked at Su Qingwan with some complicated emotions in his eyes. You, he started, as if he wanted to say something. Your Majesty, Su Qingwan interrupted him. I leave. She turned and left without looking back. She knew that there was no going back between her and Murong Han. Hashtag chapter 5 A New Beginning. A few days later, Su Qingwan quietly left Qinglan City with Feng, Yuer, Shuer, and Xuer. Feng Linyuan had been waiting at the city gate for a long time. When he saw Su Qingwan's figure, a warm smile appeared on his face. "Waner, you are finally here." Su Qingwan looked at him, her eyes a little moist. "Linyuan, I have nothing left." "No, you still have me." Feng Linyuan gently held her hand. "Come back to Zichen with me. I will take good care of you and won't let you get hurt again." Su Qingwan looked at his sincere eyes and finally nodded. It's a long way from Qinglan to Zichen. Along the way, Feng Linyuan took great care of Su Qingwan. He always shielded her from the wind and rain silently, prepared hot meals for her, and chatted with her when she couldn't sleep. At first, Su Qingwan's heart was still immersed in the pain of losing her child, and she often cried secretly at night. Feng Linyuan could always sense it and quietly came outside her tent and asked her softly if she wanted to drink some hot tea. "Linyuan." One night, Su Qingwan finally spoke. "Why are you so nice to me? I have nothing left." Feng Linyuan looked at her with tenderness in his eyes. "You still have me." "But," Su Qingwan's voice was choked, "I don't deserve you to be so kind to me." "Who said that?" Feng Linyuan gently held her hand. "In my eyes, you deserve all the good things in the world. Waner, I'm not giving you charity. I really want to be with you. Are you willing?" Su Qingwan looked at his sincere eyes, and her tears finally fell. She nodded, threw herself into his arms, and cried loudly. After that night, Su Qingwan's heart gradually began to heal. She began to learn to laugh and learn to believe in the world again. Hashtag chapter 6 Zichen Flowers Bloom. After arriving in Zichen Kingdom, Feng Linyuan placed Su Qingwan Linyuan in his palace. This palace occupies a very large area, and the gardens are filled with all kinds of exotic flowers and plants. Especially in spring, the flowers are in full bloom and are so beautiful. Su Qingwan likes to sit in the pavilion in the garden and read a book or take a walk among the flowers. Feng Linyuan always accompanied her and listened to her talk about the past in Qinglan. "Linyuan." One day, Su Qingwan suddenly asked, "Aren't you afraid that I am approaching you with a purpose?" Feng Linyuan smiled, looked into her eyes, and said, "I'm not afraid, because I believe in you, just like I believe in myself." Su Qingwan was very moved by his words, and all she saw in his eyes was sincerity. While living in Zichen, Su Qingwan gradually learned to use flowers and plants to make medicinal meals. Feng Linyuan always praised the delicious food she cooked, even though he himself was not very picky about food. One day, when Su Qingwan was picking roses in the garden, Feng Linyuan came to her with a bouquet of wild flowers. "Waner." He knelt down and held the bouquet of wild flowers in his hand. "Will you marry me? Although I only have these wild flowers now, I promise that I will give you the best in the world in the future." Su Qingwan looked at him with tears in her eyes. She nodded slightly, and Feng Linyuan stood up and hugged her tightly. Hashtag chapter 749 entrances. Suingan vaut to Avenshilen. She set foot in Qinglan Imperial City again, preparing to find out any clues about Su Ruyan's remaining power. But what she didn't expect was that Murong Han had already laid a dragnet, waiting for her to fall into the trap. "Su Qingwan, I didn't expect you to dare to come back." Murong looked at her coldly, with no warmth in his eyes. "I swear to avenge Jilan." Su Qingwan's eyes were full of determination. "Then don't blame me for being ruthless." Murong Han waved his hand, and the guards behind him swarmed up. Feng Linyuan stood up to protect Su Qingwan. The two fought and retreated all the way to the Imperial Garden. "Quick, there's a secret passage over there." Su Qingwan remembered Jilan's last words and pulled Feng Linyuan into the secret passage under the rockery. The secret passage is very deep and leads underground. They walked for a long time and finally reached the end, only to find that they had entered another world. 49 entrances. It is a huge underground labyrinth consisting of 49 interconnected stone chambers. The layout of each stone chamber is different. Some are full of poisonous insects, and some are full of traps. As soon as they stepped into the first stone room, the stone door behind them crashed down. This is a trap. Foam Linyuan's expression changed. In the darkness, countless goo insects swarmed towards them. Su Qingwan pulled out the dagger she carried with her and slashed with all her strength. Foam Linyuan used his own inner strength to hold up a protective shield, temporarily blocking the goo insect's attack. "This can't continue like this," Su Qingwan said urgently. "We must find a way out." They began to shuttle between various stone chambers, looking for a way out. In one of the stone chambers, they met an old man with gray hair. "You are." The old man looked at them warily. "We are here to cause trouble for Su Ruyan." Su Qingwan told the truth. "Who are you?" "I am Shan Yan, and I was imprisoned here by Su Ruyan." The old man smiled bitterly. "She wanted me to be trapped alive in her formation." "Senior Shan Yan." Su Qingwan's eyes lit up. "I know you. You are the formation master. Can you take us out?" Shan Yan shook his head. "This formation has been transformed by Su Ruyan, and it has completely changed. I have tried many times, but I still can't find a way to break it." The expressions of the three of them were solemn. Just as they were moving forward cautiously, a low sound suddenly came from ahead. A huge shadow appeared on the wall. It was a giant python covered in pitch black, its scales sparkling, and it looked extremely terrifying. Foam Linyuan stood in front of Su Qingwan and carefully confronted the giant python. The giant python suddenly got angry and bit them with its bloody mouth. Foam Linyuan blocked its fangs with his sword, but the python was so powerful that he gradually lost strength. At this moment, Shan Yan rushed forward and used all his inner strength to resist the python's attack. The giant python spurted out a stream of venom, but Shan Yan couldn't dodge, and the venom splashed into his eyes. "Senior Shan Yan," Su Qingwan exclaimed. Shan Yan screamed in pain, but he didn't hesitate at all. Before he lost his mind, he dug out his eyes. "Go quickly." Shan Yan's voice was hoarse. "I'll stop it for you."
"No."
"Let's go together." Su Qingwan shook her head desperately. "Leave me alone." Shan Yan roared, pushing them with his remaining strength. "You still have to live to find your grievances. I can't drag you down. Leave quickly." Su Qingwan's eyes were red, knowing that this was not the time to hesitate. She pulled Foam Linyuan, turned around, and ran forward. The giant python behind him was still roaring, and Shan Yan's screams were gradually swallowed up in the darkness. ## Chapter 8 Ice and Fire. After running for who knows how long, the two finally escaped from the python's attack range. Su Qingwan leaned against the wall, gasping for air, tears mixed with sweat flowing down her face. "Wanner, we will definitely find a way out." Foam Linyuan held her hand tightly. "Cheer up." Su Qingwan wiped her tears and took a deep breath. "You are right. We can't give up." They continued through the maze. Gradually, a glimmer of light appeared in the darkness ahead. "What is that?" Su Qingwan narrowed her eyes. When they got closer, they discovered that it was a huge circular stone chamber with countless luminous pearls inlaid on the walls, illuminating the entire stone chamber as if it were daytime. And in the center of the stone room lay a huge monster. It was a goo king. Its body was covered with fine cracks, and it seemed to be absorbing the surrounding energy. Its eyes glow red and look extremely terrifying. This should be the goo king raised by Su Ruyan. Foam Linyuan's voice was cold. "As long as you kill it, her power will be weakened." Su Qingwan nodded and clenched the dagger in her hand. The two looked at each other and rushed forward. The Goo King let out a thunderous roar and shot out streams of venom from the lines on his body. Foam Linyuan waved his long sword to block, while Su Qingwan took the opportunity to get behind the Goo King and tried to attack its weakness. But the Gu King's skin was too hard, and Su Qingwan's dagger stabbed it, leaving only a shallow white mark. No! Its skin is too hard, Su Qingwan said urgently. Normal methods can't hurt it. Then we will use unconventional methods. Foam Linyuan put away the sword, slowly raised his hands, and a ball of flame condensed in his palms. Su Qingwan was stunned for a moment. She had never seen Foam Linyuan use this move before. "Wanner, help me buy time?" Foam Linyuan's voice was deep. "I have to use all my strength to launch this attack." Su Qingwan nodded, rushed to the Gu King, and used her dagger to attract its attention. The Gu King was angered by her and attacked her crazily. At this moment, the flame in Foam Linyuan's hand was fully formed. He roared and pushed the flame towards the Gu King. The flames hit the Gu King, and it roared in pain, its whole body twisting violently. But Su Qingwan saw that the flames only burned it, but did not kill it. "Linyuan, I have another way." Su Qingwan suddenly remembered a stunt master Xiandao taught her. "I can use the power of ice and fire, but I need your cooperation." "Say it." Foam Linyuan did not hesitate. "You use fire and I use ice. When the two forces collide, there will be a huge explosion, enough to destroy everything." "Okay." Foam Linyuan gathered the flames again. "I'll count to 3. Let's start together. 3, 2, 1. The power of ice and fire collided in midair, causing an earth-shattering explosion. The entire stone chamber was shaking, and cracks began to appear on the walls. The Gu King was hit by 2 forces at the same time, and its body began to crack, eventually bursting open and turning into a rain of blood. But at this moment, Foam Linyuan suddenly saw Su Qingwan's body shaking and a trace of blood seeping from the corner of her mouth. Foam Linyuan rushed over and hugged her, but found that his whole body was weak and his internal strength was almost exhausted. Su Qingwan opened her eyes and forced a smile on her pale face. "We did it." "You." Foam Linyuan's eyes turned red. "Why are you trying so hard?" "Because I want to protect you," Su Qingwan said weakly. "No matter what the cost." Hashtag Chapter 9 The Bloody Truth. Foam Linyuan hugged the weak Su Qingwan and fled through the maze desperately. At this moment, a familiar voice suddenly came from the front. "Jilan." Su Qingwan's eyes widened, and she saw Jilan standing in the corner in front. "Sister, leave quickly." Jilan's voice was weak. "Su Ruyan, she's going to destroy this place." As soon as Jilan finished speaking, the entire maze began to shake violently. Stones fell from above, and dust filled the air. When Foam Linyuan saw this, he quickly hugged Su Qingwan and rushed toward the exit. Just when they were about to escape, Su Qingwan saw a figure slowly walking out of the darkness. "Sister Valnar?" Jilan's voice sounded for the last time. "Revenge for me." Su Qingwan saw Jilan push away Su Ruyan, who was blocking her, and run towards them with all her strength. "Hurry up." Jilan pushed Su Qingwan, but she had no time to dodge and was hit by the falling boulder. "Jilan," Su Qingwan cried and wanted to rush over, but was held tightly by Foam Linyuan. "It's too late." Foam Linyuan desperately dragged Su Qingwan out of the secret passage. The maze behind him collapsed, completely sealing the door. Su Qingwan knelt on the ground and cried loudly. It was me who killed her. If I wasn't so useless, she would." "I don't blame you." Foam Linyuan hugged her into his arms. "If you want to blame Su Ruyan." But just after returning to Zichen, when Su Qingwan was taking inventory of her belongings, she discovered a bunch of hair and a note left by Jilan. The note read, "Sister, Su Ruyan's conspiracy goes beyond this. She also has companions in Qinglong country. Please be careful. No matter what, please live well for me." Hashtag Chapter 10, Lost Flowers and Willows. After returning to Prince Zichen's mansion, Su Qingwan's body became weaker and weaker. After examination, the Imperial doctor told Feng Linyuan that her internal strength had been exhausted and it was impossible to regain her martial arts. What did you say? Feng Linyuan's face turned pale. It's impossible. You must have a way. Prince Feng. The Imperial doctor sighed. Your Majesty's physical condition is really not suitable for using force anymore. Although I can use medicine to regulate her body, her internal strength, I am powerless. Feng Linyuan almost lost his balance, and the maid on the side quickly supported him. Get out, he said. Get out of here. After everyone left, Feng Linyuan sat in front of Su Qingwan's bed, holding her hand, tears falling silently. Waner, I'm sorry. I didn't protect you. In the days that followed, Su Qingwan worked hard to practice the hidden weapon secrets left to her by Master Xian Dao. She found that her reaction speed had not dropped much, and she might still be able to defend herself with hidden weapons. Even if I can only use hidden weapons, I will avenge Xilan. She secretly vowed. Soon after, Feng Linyuan finally found out that Su Ruiyan's companion in Qinglan country turned out to be the head eunuch beside Morong Han. The two went to Qinglan Palace overnight to prepare to capture him, but they didn't expect that Morong Han would wait here. Su Qingwan, you are indeed here. Morong Han's eyes were as cold as ice. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Morong Han. Su Qingwan looked at him calmly. I am here today to take away those who should be punished. Then give it a try. Morong Han raised his hand, and the guards around him swarmed towards him. During this fierce battle, Su Qingwan suddenly saw the entrance to the secret passage on the side, with a strange light shining at the entrance. She immediately pulled Feng Linyuan and rushed in. But they searched inside for a long time, but couldn't find the companion of Su Ruiyan that Xilan mentioned. It seems that Su Ruiyan has been prepared. Feng Linyuan frowned. She may have transferred important witnesses. When they dragged their tired bodies out from the other end of the secret passage, what was waiting for them was not the sun, but a person. #, Chapter 11 Amnesia. The person coming was none other than Morong Han. I knew you would take the secret passage. Morong Han's tone was as cold as ice. This leads directly to the outside of the city. Do you want to take advantage of the chaos and escape? Your Majesty misunderstood. Feng Linyuan said solemnly, We just. Before he finished speaking, several black shadows fell from the sky, surrounding Su Qingwan and Feng Linyuan. Prince Feng, Waner. There was a hint of cruelty in Morong Han's voice. I will show you two ways. One is to be obedient and surrender, and I can keep your whole body. The other is to resist and let your woman die here with you. I want to live, Su Qingwan said softly, no matter what method is used. A sneer appeared on the corner of Morong Han's mouth, and there was something dark in his hand. That thing looked like a mechanism with green smoke faintly inside. Since you want to live, let me have a taste of this. After Morong Han finished speaking, he threw the green smoke towards Su Qingwan. Feng Linyuan wanted to stand in front of her, but was stopped by Morong Han's guards. Su Qingwan closed her eyes, ready to bear everything. But unexpectedly, the smoke did not hurt her after hitting her. Instead, it instantly penetrated her nose and sank into her body. Is this poisonous smoke? Feng Linyuan was stunned. He felt something strange in his body. That's right. Morong Han laughed. It's the magic medicine I got from the Grey Mark Kingdom, which can make people lose all their memories. From now on, she won't remember you or anyone else. What? Feng Linyuan's expression changed, and he was about to resist, but found that his body was limp, and he watched Su Qingwan fall down. Forget her. Morong Han glanced at Su Qingwan coldly. From now on, you'll be strangers. I am compassionate and will spare your life. Get out. Feng Linyuan picked up Su Qingwan and staggered out of the city. He looked at the person in his arms and burst into tears. Waner, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I didn't protect you. He took Su Qingwan back to Zichen and took good care of her every day. A few days later, Su Qingwan finally woke up, but her once clear eyes were full of confusion. "Who are you?" She looked at Foam Linyuan without any trace of familiarity in her eyes. Foam Linyuan forced a smile. "I am Foam Linyuan, your friend." "Friends." Su Qingwan tilted her head and thought for a moment. I don't remember that I have any friends." "It doesn't matter." Foam Linyuan said softly. "Everything will be fine. I will always be by your side." Hashtag Chapter 12, A New Beginning. During the days in Zichen Kingdom, Foam Linyuan took great care of Su Qingwan as if he wanted to make up for all the previous debts. He never left her for half a step, taking her to enjoy the mountains and rivers of Zichen, accompanying her to see spring flowers, autumn moon, summer rain, and winter snow. He told her those beautiful stories to make her happy and let her learn to laugh again. Su Qingwan liked the stories he told very much, especially those about immortal heroes. Whenever she heard him tell stories about those gods and couples, she always smiled happily. "The stories you tell are so nice." Su Qingwan smiled and said to him, "Can you tell me every day from now on?" "Of course." Foam Linyuan kissed her forehead gently. "As long as you like it, I will tell you the story for the rest of your life." Su Qingwan blushed, but she did not avoid it. She found that she was very dependent on this man and liked him very much. One sunny spring day, Foam Linyuan took her to a hillside full of wild flowers. "Wana, I have something to say to you." Foam Linyuan knelt down on one knee, holding a small wooden box in his hand. "I know you don't remember the past or who I am, but I remember. I still remember the road we walked together and the things we experienced together. I want to start over, okay?" Su Qingwan looked into his eyes, which were full of expectation and tenderness. She walked over and gently put her hand on his shoulder. "Although I don't remember the past, I also remember you. You are the most important person in this world to me." Foam Linyuan's eyes turned red, and tears fell silently. He held her tightly in his arms. "Thank you, Waner. Thank you for being willing to accept me again." The two sat hugging each other on the hillside, watching the sunset slowly setting in the west. Su Qingwan leaned on Foam Linyuan's shoulder, feeling that this moment was very heartwarming for Linyuan. "You will always stay with me, right?" she asked softly. "Yes." Foam Linyuan's voice was firm. "For life." Su Qingwan closed her eyes and raised the corners of her mouth slightly. Although she has forgotten everything in the past, she knows that the person she loves is by her side at this moment. That's enough. The setting sun in the distance cast golden light, stretching the silhouettes of the two people very long. Everything is a new beginning. Their story has just begun. Full text ends.